You know, when I was first brought out to need a place to grow up, lots of different, Mom had set up many different groups, and other people Dad was involved with had set up many different groups. Over the years that they had all been involved with different people, they had made different agreements based on different premises. But when we tried to put any weight on any of those premises, they just collapsed. So that required a fundamental restructuring of the entire world. And some, you know, as you know, when you're building a building, some things are easier to disassemble than others. Some things are more portable than others. So, you know, you do all the work at night, and then you come back and somebody has removed it and taken it to another work site. And so all of this stuff, it makes it a difficult and complicated process. But some of the groups, as they began to be disassembled, began to reassemble in different formats, and then different subsets were saying, well, okay, in that form we couldn't have done this, that, and the other thing, but in these forms we could do at least this portion of it. And so all these things came together. But you know, it's easy to adopt ideas that you think are true based on a future, and then when that future comes and that stuff doesn't happen, then you reassess. But people along the way have taken you at your word, given you credit based on these projections, and they want reparations. You know, so anyway, so that some of the corrections involve, you know, some of these groups decided to define themselves genetically when that was never intended. They were supposed to be defined. They were a subgroup of a much wider genetic group that was originally each of the groups was supposed to exchange children, adults, you know, people at different stages, and use different processes to integrate them. And so that's kind of why I've been shying away from using the term Romani and have been using Gypsy. And especially because when you go through a genocide, even if you are reborn by alternate genetics very similar to what you used to be, you've lost your provenance, and it's really hard to be a pureblood if you don't have the pedigree. And yet, you look the same, you act the same, you do the same things. So, except for the painting yourself into a corner with so many of the facade practices.